Hi, Tiernan here from Key Catalyst. Welcome back to another video from the Marketing Doctor. Today we're talking about why messaging is actually the most important part of your marketing and sales strategy, and it's also probably the most overlooked aspect. So we're not going to be using the usual whiteboard today. We're not going to be using the usual format. I'm just going to be talking about what I've been noticing over the past few years and the thing that I see tripping brands up the most, and that is that the messaging is absolutely overlooked. When it comes to your funnel, everyone wants to basically skip the first part, jump into sales and marketing, jump into trying to get calls booked, jump into posting on social media or adding new stuff to their website or running a new advertising campaign. That's all the fun stuff that people want to jump and do. Everyone forgets about the offer, or if they do think about the offer, they think about it for a few minutes, decide on an offer, decide on a price with no thought into pricing strategy, offer strategy, and just jump right into launching that and letting it go live. What they also don't spend enough time on is thinking about their ICP, their ideal customer profile, and thinking about what that person actually looks like, who they want to sell to, why they want to sell to them, and then building a product, service, offer on top of that, thinking about how to appropriately price it, and then moving on to the rest. The reason why this is so important is that when we are trying to fix problems that come from our marketing and sales funnels that we're working with, and you'll see this if you've looked at any of the other resources on this platform, most of the problems that people have at some point, I'm telling people to go back and look at their ICP, go back and look at their messaging and see if they've done enough initial work on the messaging and ICP, or if they already have done enough work, are they really communicating that well enough throughout their funnel, throughout their marketing resources and their sales strategy. At every aspect of your funnel, you can get tripped up by the fact that you're not targeting people well enough, and whether you're targeting people well enough always comes back to those core principles at the start of, do you know the person who you're trying to target better than they do? Do you use the language that they use? Do you talk about the things that they care about rather than the things that you care about or you think they care about? And have you done enough to make an offer based on that they would feel stupid to say no to? Once you're confident that you've got messaging that is super clear, meaning you know what your buyer is afraid of, you know what they get excited about, you know why they're interested in making a purchase right now rather than at another time, you know what they value in a service, so you can position USPs that align with you rather than your competitor. Once you know those things, you can write them clearly in an offer. You can price them in a way that is not the cheapest on the market, or if it maybe even the most expensive, but you've got a bit of strategy behind your pricing and you're not just picking a random number. Once all those things are done, you move on to working out what your top of the funnel and what your middle and bottom of the funnel look like, but everything is built on those initial core principles, and those are the things that people jump over or spend not very much time on. But people will spend a day on that and spend the rest of the year working on their social media strategy, spend 6 months working on that, spend the rest of your time deploying it across your different channels rather than doing the opposite, because the less time you spend on this, the less revenue you'll generate through your products and services, because you really don't know who you're selling to, why you're selling to them, and why they should buy from you. And you also will just come across all of the problems that I've mentioned and all of the other resources that I have. So spend loads of time on that initial part. Once you're ready to get going, move on to the rest. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have perfectly worked out the answer to all those questions, but you need to have put some time and thought into it, so that when you deploy that message and that offer, that pricing strategy into your products and services, you know that when you go look at my other resources and I keep talking about messaging, you okay that messaging's fine, and you can go troubleshoot the other things that could be going wrong. So takeaway message: spend lots of time on your messaging, spend lots of time on your offer, spend lots of time on your pricing strategy, then think about how you're going to deploy that across the rest of your funnel, rather than all of your time on this side and none of your time on that side.